Hello students, let us start our new session of chapter 7, alternating current, with the analytical solution of series RLC circuit. Now in the earlier session we understood that how the RLC circuit can be solved, can get a result by using a phasor diagram. So phasor diagram method we have already done. Now the same circuit we can analyze, we can get a result by the analytical method. So here we are applying KVL rule in the series RLC circuit as we have done in the earlier topic. Same thing we are doing. So it would be V equals to VL plus VR plus VC. VL is LdI by dt, VR is IR and VC is Q by C. And apply voltage V is Vm sin omega t. Now in this equation, two variables are unknown variables are there, I and Q. Rest of the parameters, rest of the values are known, that L, R, C and V. But we want to determine the current value I. With that, another unknown parameter is Q. And we know the relation of current and charge Q, that is by having I equals to dQ by dt. So either convert the whole equation in terms of I or in terms of Q. Which one is the easier one? Let us convert whole equation in terms of Q. So in that given equation, wherever the I is there, replace with dQ by dt. And wherever the di by dt is there, so Q we need to differentiate. That we can say that I should be differentiated. So that equation would be d square Q by dt square. And wherever the Q is there, Q equals to Qm sin omega t plus theta. If Q is Qm sin omega t plus theta, so I equals to dQ by dt. So differentiate Q with respect to time at once. So the resultant value would be Qm constant as it is. Differentiation of sin omega t plus theta is cos omega t plus theta. And with that omega t, that is a time dependent. So differentiate omega t with time. So it would be omega. So the final equation is Qm omega cos omega t plus theta. Now for d square Q by dt square, differentiate the above equation of dQ by dt with respect to time. So differentiate Qm omega cos omega t plus theta. So differentiation of cos is minus sin. Qm and omega is constant, keep it as it is. So it would be minus Qm omega sin omega t plus theta. Now again omega t is there. So omega is with time. Differentiate omega t again with respect to time. So it would be again omega constant value appear. So it would be omega square. So the resultant value would be minus Qm omega square sin omega t plus theta. Now substitute each value of Q dQ by dt and d square Q by dt square in the above equation. So it would be like this. And from that equation, take Qm by omega, Qm into omega constant. So the resultant value is R cos omega t plus theta, Xc sin omega t plus theta minus XL sin omega t plus theta equal to Vm sin omega t. Now take sin omega t plus theta constant, so it would appear as Xc minus XL. And Xc is 1 upon omega C capacitive reactance, XL is omega L inductive reactance. So now in that equation multiply and divide with the Z impedance value. And total impedance of series RLC circuit we have derived from the phasor diagram method, and that was Z equal to under root R square plus Xc minus XL whole square. So if we are replacing by multiply and divide the Z value, then equation became Qm into omega Z. Take the denominator Z inside of the bracket. So it would be R by Z cos omega t plus theta plus Xc minus XL by Z omega t sin omega t plus theta equal to Vm sin omega t as it is. Now from the phasor diagram, that resistive triangular we have defined tan phi. From the same diagram, from the same triangle, we can get a sin phi and cos phi. So cos phi is r by z and sin phi is xc minus xl by z, and phi is tan inverse xc minus xl by r. So now replace each values over here. So we can get it like r by z, replace it with cos phi, and xc minus xl by z with the sin phi. So resultant value is qm omega z cos phi sin omega t plus theta plus sin phi sin omega t plus theta. So here it would become like cos into cos plus sin into sin. So that result we have cos omega t plus theta minus phi, that is cos A minus B kind of structure would be there. That is cos into cos plus sin into sin. So that is cos A minus B. So that resultant value we are having qm omega z cos omega t plus theta minus phi equal to Vm sin omega t. Now if we compare equation from both the side, we can say that Vm equals to constant values qm omega z, and by the Ohm's law V equals to Iz. So z is common, so we can say that by comparing both the side, Im equals to qm into omega. Now if we compare both the side angle, then we have to convert it into terms of sine or cos. Let us convert in terms of sine, that the reference we have. So that would become cos omega t plus theta minus phi. Instead of that, we supposed to write down omega t plus theta minus phi plus pi by 2 for the sine. So now compare from both the side sine angle, that is omega t equal to omega t plus theta minus phi plus pi by 2. Omega will be cancelled out. So theta minus pi equal to minus pi by 2. Or we can say that theta equals to minus pi by 2 plus phi. So now we have I equals to dq by dt. dq by dt we have derived earlier, and this equation is qm omega cos omega t plus theta. Now qm into omega, that we can replace from this equation, from the Im equation. So qm into omega is Im. So I equals to Im cos omega t plus theta. Now replace theta over here by minus pi by 2 plus phi. So it would become sin omega t plus phi. So the whole equation is, we are getting like I equals to Im sin omega t plus phi. This is the same equation, kind of equation we have received, which we have for phasor diagram method. So Im equals to Vm by Z. So Vm by under root r square plus xc minus xl whole square, and phi equals to tan inverse xc minus xl by r. So we can say that analytical solution for the amplitude and phase of the current in the circuit obtain same value which we are getting by the phasor diagram method. Now the next topic is resonance. Resonance is basically the tendency of the circuit to get the oscillations at a particular frequency, and that frequency is known as a natural frequency. At that particular frequency, we are supposed to get a maximum amplitude. So here, because while we are choosing a particular frequency by combining the L and C values, then at particular one frequency both values can be together, and for the remaining amplitudes can be reduced. Because in the earlier cases, for the phasor diagram analysis, we have taken two cases. If Xc greater than XL, then capacitive current is dominated. And if Xc less than XL, means XL is higher, so inductive current is dominated. But if we are choosing that Xc equal to XL, then what will happen? For in the impedance value Z, if we consider Xc equal to XL, then impedance equation was under root R square plus Xc minus XL whole square. In that equation, X equal to XL, so that part would be 0. So Z equals to R. So in this case, we can say that we able to get a maximum amplitude of the current because I equals to V by Z. Here by applying X equal to XL, denominator will be reduced by Vm by R. So in that case, we able to get a maximum current. So here, to get a maximum amplitude of the oscillations at a particular frequency, we supposed to choose the condition that Xc equal to XL to get a minimum impedance R, and from that we able to get a maximum current of Im. That particular frequency is known as resonant frequency. So that resonant frequency was Xc equal to XL. So Xc is 1 upon omega 0 C and XL is omega 0 L. So make the subject of formula X omega 0 because we want to get that frequency value. So from that, make the subject of formula omega 0. From that we able to get a frequency equation. So omega 0 equal to 1 upon under root LC. So this is the resonant frequency at where we able to get the maximum current by choosing that omega 0 equal to 1 upon under root LC. Now in this diagram you can see that at omega 0 maximum amplitude is there, and for that rest of that frequencies amplitude goes to reducing rapidly, and at the end it will be 0. Here two graphs are there, for one is from the blue line, another one from the gray line. It defines that if resistance values are varying, then amplitude, maximum amplitude can change, because that if impedance value is minimum by R value by considering X equal to XL, so Z equals to R, and at that time Im equals to Vm by R. So current amplitude is directly related to the resistance value. If resistance value is lower, for example here it is given 100 ohm, then we able to get a blue line kind of graph, that maximum amplitude, that is higher amplitude comparatively. And if R value we chosen high in comparison, for example here it is taken 200 ohm, then current amplitude can be reduced from the earlier case by taking L and C in such a manner that to get a 1 megahertz frequency, or any of the frequency you can choose, doesn't matter. So here this graphical representation is for L equals to 1 millihenry, C equals to 1 nanofarad, Vm equals to 100 volt, and omega 0 equal to 1 mega radian per second, or 1 into 10 raised to 6 radian per second. So by varying that resistance value to different graphical representation of current we are having. Now this application we supposed to use by selecting a specific frequency. For example, at a radio station we are choosing a specific frequency. At that time maximum without any disturbance our signal should receive very clearly. This is what our importance over here, at a particular choosing frequency. For example, at radio 94.3 we are choosing 94.3 megahertz. If we are choosing at that particular frequency, whatever the signal is supposed to receive, it must be very clear without any disturbance, and around that frequencies that result should be 0 or very minimum. So amplitude should be low around that particular frequency, but at that exact omega 0, that is for example 94.3 megahertz, my amplitude should be maximum. Likewise for the television purpose also, whatever the channel we are selecting, it means we are selecting a specific frequency. So at that particular frequency on our television screen, that particular video is supposed to display from that particular channel, and the rest of that it should be 0. So this is how that particular antenna can choose the particular frequency. For that selectivity purpose, resonance impedance is important. So here for the tuning purpose, generally we are changing the capacitance value, because L and C two components are there, but to change the inductor value it is not feasible. For the inductor, that is a coil with the number of turns, we cannot change the number of turns of the coil. So what we supposed to do? Vary the capacitor. Then how we can change the capacitor value? Capacitance is epsilon A by D, right? Epsilon is the material property we cannot change. Area is the capacitive plate area by its width and length. We cannot change after constructing it. So what we able to change? The distance between two plates, D. So by varying that distance between two plates, we able to change the capacitance value. By changing that capacitance value, we can change reactance of the capacitance XC. So any of the variable from XC or XL, if we change, we able to get a particular resonance frequency. So to get that variation, generally we are changing its capacitance value. So the amplitude of the current with that particular frequency of a signal we can receive by the radio station at the maximum value. So resonance phenomena is exhibited by both the component L and C compulsorily. Both components should be present. This resonance we cannot obtain by any one component. So for to get that resonance, R, L and C, all three components must be available in the circuit. So for RL and for RL or RC circuit, resonance concept won't be possible. Here we are going to end this session. Hope you understood. Thank you.